Hello everyone, welcome to our presentations. My name is Truong. I'm come from Group 3 in Quoc 3 in NV. Today we will talk about the Web 4.0 for the development of cloud computing. In this video, we will read more details about the Web 4.0. What is the Web 4.0? The components, the characteristics, the benefits and drawbacks of Web 4.0. Let me talk about the introduction.
If you hear the word internet and think of information, you are right. If, of course, you are in 2003, but things online have changed a lot in the last few years. Most people don't understand how the current internet came to be. It's been unveiled over time in several distinct stages. Each stage has a name: Web 1.0, 2.0, and 3.0. Web 1.0 was the original World Wide Web, a read-only internet with static pages written in HTML, and all the content was created by only a few chosen ones. But with the advance of the Millennium Web, 2.0 was born. It allowed interactive communication, including social networking. Then, by around 2008, Web 2.0 evolved into Web 3.0, known as a semantic web, and that's the stage we're in today. Until now, the web has solely been about information. Web 3.0 handles hardware and software standards like XML, HTML5, and metadata, and that allow web pages to be understood directly by computer search engines like Google and Yahoo. It became possible for machines to search, aggregate, and combine virtually owned information without any help from human operator. But ultimately, it's still owned about information. The amount of available information has greatly increased over the year, but it still same types of stuff: websites, blogs, documents, images, and videos. But that is all about to change. Web 4.0 is on the way.
Web 4.0 is also known as a cybernetic web. The web is the interaction between humans and machines in cyberspace. Web 4.0 is greater control of the information. Web 4.0 based on three main concepts. The first basic idea is natural language understanding technique. It is a subtopic of natural language processing in artificial intelligence that deal with machine reading comprehension. And the second basic idea is new model of machine-to-machine communication. The network will consist of intelligent agents in the cloud, be able to communicate among them and delegate the response to the right agent. And the last basic idea is new model of interface. It is based on symbolism of research, but will use new models of interaction or even execute specific action by computing with the mobile terminal capabilities. For example, if we make queries such as I want a taxi to come pick me, and my phone must be capable of to contact nearest taxi company automatically without direct user intervention. This all about the definitions and the basic idea of Web 4.0 technology. So to give you more clearly about this topic, I would like to invite my friend Quoc to talk about the components of Web 4.0 for the development of cloud computing.
The components of Web 4.0. As you can see, if the Web 2.0 can be called a read-write web, Web 3.0 will surely be called a read-write execute web. And final, in this topic we have Web 4.0. It will be a read-write execute and concurrency web. It achieves a critical mass of participation in online networks that deliver global transparency governments, distribution, participation, collaboration into key communities, such as we have industries, political, social, and the other communities. Uh, Web 4.0 will be served as a middleware in which it will start functioning like a SMO operating system. The Web 4.0 will be parallel to the human brain and imply a massive web of highly intelligent interaction. So the question here is what exactly component of the Web 4.0? Here we have five major components forming the basis of Web 4.0. Here first we have symbiotic web of things, web social computing, pervasive webs, and finally we have the ubiquitous computing. And now we move to the symbiotic web. We have a definition is this web 4.0 is also known as symbiotic web, and the goal of the symbiotic web is the interaction between human and machine in symbiosis. The line between human and divine will blur. It means that don't much to find it, don't much to difficult for the connection between human and device. The Web 4.0 will interact with the user in the same way that human community with each other. Next, we move to the key component of webs of the symbiosis, and you can see in the picture we have in the first web 1.0, and you can see in the original of the website, you can see when the content provider is only a read page, it means that the user only read the content that provider give to them. It means then and there is don't have any interaction between provider and user. And next we have, you can see in this picture in web 2.0, it's called a read and write. So you see it some interaction between the user or contributor between content provider. You see it's the competition over personal data developer. So the competitive and anti-competitive practice areas. Okay, now we move to the consequential. You can see in the picture it is the symbiotic web. It means the data from the user input and is set to the provider will gather the information and save this in the own server. So the data which must be much more data is being held, and so it's vulnerable. In next component we have web of things. Uh, the connecting everything to the internet is giving them an IP address in only the first step toward the Internet of Things. Things could the things could uh, send easily exchange the data with each other, but not necessarily understand what that data means. It is what the web protocol like HTTP brought the internet a universal way to display image, text, and other media elements so that machines could understand. So, so the way of thing is simplifying the next stage of the evolution using and adapting web protocol to connect everything in physical world. So it's in to simplify this uh, visible is you can define this principle of this component as the web of things is a reinforcement of the internet by integrations mapping not only to the internet but into the web architecture. So we move to the architecture of the web of things, and you can say in the first layer we have HTTP JSON REST API. Okay. Okay. As you can see in the first layer, this layer deals with the access of things to the internet and ensure they expose the service via web API. It is the core layer of the web of things, and the next layer is file. This layer focuses on to provide the way to find and locate things on the web and strongly influenced by the semantic web. And the third layer is the web of things is based on the idea of things pushing data into the web where more intelligent and big data pattern can be applied as an ensemble to help us manage your health or optimize your energy consumption. Yeah. In this layer 3. So, and the final layer is the role of the last, and the role of the last layer is to integrate the server and data offered by things into the higher level web tool. It means it's making even simpler to create application in both things and virtual web service. Yeah. So we move to the third component is social computing. Social computing is basically the use of computer for social purpose. It's based on the fact that human are social creature, and we are sensitive to behavior of the around us. We talk with family, friend, or co-worker. Social integration contribute mean fulfillment and richness to our life. And in social computing, the internet enables users to interact to the several media such as blog, wiki, yeah, uh, Facebook. Facebook is the example of social computing. Yeah, and in social computing, the internet able user to interact with each other. So we move to the first Phuong, the pervasive websites, and it's very easy to understand this component. That the pervasive website speak to the redistribution of what we know as the internet, and browser, computer, interacting with data and service, and even people into truly always available. It means the pervasive web connect to anything, any device have internet, and it's always remain the available of this device, and it means when you can access this device anytime you want and anywhere. It means that you the right content at the right time in the right place on the right device. Yeah. And the final is ubiquitous computing, and ubiquitous là it symbolize Internet of Things. Uh, it's a paradigm in which the process of information is linked with its activity or object as encounter, and it involves connecting electric devices in low embedded microprocessor to communicate information. The device that the ubiquitous computing have constant availability and are completely connected. And ubiquitous computing focus on learning by remove the complexity of computing and increase efficiency while using computing for different daily activity.
Okay, so we will start. My name is Ngọc, and we will start with the characteristics of Web 4.0. So, we have three characteristics of this version of web, and the first one is the symbiotic web, which is the interaction between man and machine. In a symbiotic web definition, the boundary between man and machine will fade, which means humans can interact with the web just like with another people. The second one is an always-on connected world, which means that this web environment must be an always-on. It allows users to meet each other on the web everywhere and at anywhere, anytime they want. And the third one is the web OS. Nowadays, the web is the whole system is an OS, which allows the website to flows from each point to another system. The next four things is the self-learning system, which means with the modern technologies like artificial intelligence, the web can learn the user's actions to know the to know the need of the user, so that they can suggest the content that the user wants. And anthropomorphic communication with users, which means they have a human-like communication, and they can chat with user like a normal people. Web 4.0 is an open, linked, and intelligent web. The last but not least thing is unprecedentedly high speed and reliability. We can say this because the modern technologies has optimized the speed of the web to get the best experience for the user, and nowadays people has improved the technology of security to protect the information of the user. So, why cloud computing is crucial for Web 4.0? There are three things. So, at first, cloud computing have business in all web technologies adapt to today's rapidly changing technology. The second one is cloud computing is a way for Web 4.0 to readily change with the times without losing data. The last one is cloud computing has infinite storage capabilities, since there are many cloud service nowadays, like Amazon Web Service, Google Cloud, or Firebase, etc. So, let's step to the benefits and drawbacks of Web 4.0. Firstly, I want to talk about the benefits. We have first is accessibility, which means the creation of new patterns of communication with the machine will bring the internet to the people that complexity does not understand the use of browser and the possibilities that the internet has to offer. The second one is distributed computer-based information agents, which is the intelligent agents are elements that process information and communicate with them. Improve user experience through personalized agents. The agents that interact with the user offering customized content and try to correct the difference between what we find and what they found. It performs the task for the user accessing context information and communicating with other intelligent agents in the network to provide the user information would have to search manually. A more efficient exploitation of the semantic web. The semantic web is an extremely high demand today. The semantic-based search engines are tools that are being implemented in many systems. This demand will generate new requirements associated with the integration with users. It will require a new type of communication to facilitate the access and representation of information. So, next one is the drawbacks. Since the Web 4.0 is the highest technology nowadays, but despite the benefits of it, there's still also the challenge and disadvantage. First of all is the migration of online functionality into the physical world. For example, imagine being able to Google or Home to locate car keys or the remote control. Next one is concerning industry standards, which means all the connection and device are understandable by all devices and not only by a field belonging to a certain company like Google or Apple, like the Pixel phone or an iPhone or Samsung Android. The next thing is the security. As nothing safe on the internet, Web 4.0 will also be facing the privacy, because personalized search is only possible if the user provides the respective search engine with his personal data. If we consider service like Google Earth that can provide users with information about other people's whereabouts and tracking device in some of the newer cell phone being released. So this kind of information are easily available nowadays, and no one knows where there's all the information go. Last one is the privacy and policy. Okay. In conclusion, Web 4.0 offers connection between people and machine to create interactive data for new symbiotic internet. The permanent connectivity in Web 4.0 will have a big impact on daily life. The use of the new techniques in everyday activities will result in a symbiosis between people and machines. This device and web application will feel the needs of their user thanks to AI, since the AI can track, can learn from the user history activity, and they can know which content the user like, the user prefers. Last but not last one is the big data will become more and more important, since nowadays technologies has become more popular to every people, and the data of each user becomes more and more bigger, huge, become more and more become bigger and bigger. So that big data is an important problem which needs to be solved by every technology, every website. So, thanks for listening to our team. Thank you.